Humans rely on many organisms to provide resources that are necessary to survive. These organisms include cattle for meat and dairy, and even honeybees that pollinate our plants. Many believe that our oxygen comes mainly from trees, but there is a larger producer of the oxygen we breathe. In fact, rainforests only account for 1/3, which is about 28% of oxygen. This brings me to the topic of this presentation. 70% of oxygen is produced by marine plants. This includes phytoplankton, kelp, and algal plankton. So, what are plankton? Plankton are basically any organism that can't swim against the ocean current. So basically they just float around. There are two categories: phytoplankton, which are plants, and zooplankton, which are animals. These microscopic plants don't have roots, stems, or leaves. They are also one of the ocean's main primary producers. Millions can reside in one drop of water. They provide supporting ecosystem services and are very important. Some even say that these organisms are the most important on the planet. These small creatures play a vital role in the marine ecosystem. Their populations determine the abundance of marine life, and not only do these act as oxygen providers, but they are also the prey of herbivorous zooplankton. Zooplankton are the prey of some of the largest and longest living creatures. Along with being food, phytoplankton are also responsible for taking 10 gigatons of CO2 out of the atmosphere each year, which is more than 100 million a day. In short, pretty much all life depends on these organisms. Like other plants, phytoplankton extracts CO2 from the environment and produce oxygen through photosynthesis. They are actually responsible for 50% of all photosynthesis on Earth. As you can see, phytoplankton play a central role in the ecosystem. Without their presence, disaster would occur. With a decrease in their population, there would be a decrease in zooplankton, and then small fish, and then seals and penguins, and so on. Diatoms are one of the most abundant types of phytoplankton and have seen the effects of the threat on their populations.
This data visualization shows changes from 1998 to 2012. According to the study, significant decreases in population, shown here in red, are mainly in the northern hemisphere. Scientists link this to a shift in the availability of nutrients.
Diatoms rely on nutrients such as nitrate, silicate, and iron to reach the surface layer where they live. What a study shows is that the availability of these nutrients has changed due to the way they cycle within the water column.
Diatoms occupy the surface area of the ocean called the mixed layer. Nutrients collect on the ocean floor and are cycled up to this layer. Various physical forces can cause the depth of the mixed layer to become shallower so that fewer nutrients reach the diatoms. Without these nutrients, their populations decline. This map shows areas on the globe where the depth of the mixed layer shallowed.
It's hard to pinpoint exactly why these changes have happened. Things like wind, circulation, and temperature can affect the way these nutrients are brought to the surface layer.
The largest threat to phytoplankton is climate change. With the uncontrolled release of greenhouse gases, pollution is destroying many ecosystems. The abundance, distribution, and seasonality of phytoplankton are highly affected by the rising temperatures of the ocean. The populations have declined 1% every year since the start of the 20th century, and has been a 40% decline from 1950 to 2010. These images show the direct effect rising temperatures have on the productivity of phytoplankton. Where the surface temperatures are high, the net primary productivity is increasingly low. These images are from 2004, and the warming of surface waters has only increased and resulted in the steep decline of phytoplankton productivity. What will result if phytoplankton concentrations continue to decrease? Well, this may be an over-exaggeration, but the disappearance of phytoplankton would result in catastrophe. While the world won't actually explode, everyone would experience the effects of the disappearance of phytoplankton. Zooplankton directly, and then whales, birds, shellfish, and young fish indirectly, and even humans. So, what should we do? An obvious solution to this problem would be to stop pollution and end global warming, but that is a very complicated task. Many scientists are looking into more feasible solutions. One in particular is known as phytoplankton farms, called Bloom. These farms would sit on the sea and not only produce phytoplankton, but also monitor climate change and possibly detect oncoming tsunamis. The models show a spear anchored to the sea floor. These futuristic inventions may seem like the answer, but are pretty far from reach. But the search always continues to save what may be the most important organism on the planet.